Playing a career mode on a sports game can be a brilliant experience, taking on the challenge of a lower level team and pushing them to the top, or just living the fantasy of seeing your club actually win silverware. The possibilities are immense. What if then you played a career mode on EAFC 25 but could only sign players with the same surname? That's exactly what I did for today's video. So will my team of the same named players be in a relegation battle, mid-table mediocrity, or a top of the table title clash? I began my new career by deciding on the name to use, and to give me a fighting chance of even pulling this off, I decided to use the surname Smith. It seemed like the obvious choice. So here we are, the Smiths. There actually were fewer top level players named Smith than I had hoped, but after spending a lot of time in this cafe, I finally had my team of Smiths. My marquee signing was Smith Rowe for over 20 million from Fulham, but many of the others were from the lower leagues. This could be difficult when facing the Premier League. Our season got off to a rocky start, losing every game bar one, which surprisingly was a 1-1 draw away at Manchester City. I had to stop the defeats somehow, so a change in tactics was made. We shaped up in a 4-3-2-1 wide with wing play instructions, and it brought Smith Rowe into a more central role than he had been playing up to this point. It paid off big style as he hit 3 in our game versus West Ham to take our first win of the season, and it lifted us out of the relegation zone. A draw with Everton followed, and a competitive match away at Brentford ended in defeat. Another draw came versus Leicester, but the main takeaway from this match was Michael Smith, my main striker, broke his elbow and is out for 2 months. Spurs battered us, in particular Son with a hat-trick. Back into the relegation zone it was. Man U followed that up with an easy 2-0 win, but we stopped the rot at Forest in a hard-fought 1-0 win. We hit a bit of a rut, picking up minimal points. The game against Wolves was a sickener as we were leading for ages, but they scored a scrappy set piece in the dying moments. And would you believe it? It happened again versus Newcastle, but this time for a defeat. Finally, we win, and amazingly, it's against Arsenal, which was a huge result to keep pace with Wolves. We followed that up with a good draw against Chelsea. We seem to be getting good results against the top teams, which is a bit strange. The winter transfer window was here, and we needed it. It was becoming difficult running the same team each week. We needed to rotate more. Plus, with the injury to Michael Smith, it would be wise to add another striker to our roster. A huge relegation match arrived after the window, and it was against Fulham. The new signings had immediate impact as Matthew Smith, who we just signed from Wigan, scored on his debut, and having the option to rotate with subs really helped us to a massive 2-1 win. We were back out of the drop zone. This was followed by a bad run, losing on penalties to Blackburn in the FA Cup, and another defeat in the league to Brighton. We managed another impressive draw with Manchester City, but that's followed with a dismantling from Liverpool. Oh my god, they destroyed us. We really needed a win following this, and we faced up against Southampton, who were bottom of the league. They decided to turn into prime Barcelona though, so it was another pasting for the Smiths. A huge victory came against Aston Villa, turning the game around to win 2-1, lifting us to the heady heights of 16th place. Unfortunately, we lost the next 2 to Spurs and Manchester United, and were dropped right back in it. But we followed this up with a 3-1 smashing of Crystal Palace. A 2-1 win against Forest followed, and it gave us a real amount of hope of staying up. We were up to 14th going into another international break. Our great form continued after the break with a 1-0 win away at Bournemouth, taking us 5 points clear of the relegation zone with 8 games to play. A 4th win in a row happens versus Wolves, and we're in dreamland, 8 points clear. Our dream run ends in a competitive 2-1 loss to Chelsea. And then Arsenal destroy us. We go back to the way things were. Newcastle hammered us, and then playing Everton, I got the strangest red card ever. Huh? We held on, but Everton got the winner right at the end. We're on a really bad run again here. Only 2 points ahead of relegation now with 3 games to play. Brentford wreck me by 3, but the teams below don't take advantage, so we're still 2 points above the drop. Leicester beat us, and it's 1 game left and 1 point in it. I can't tell you how nervous I am. We go into the final game, but after 30 minutes we find ourselves 2-0 down, and I'm starting to sweat about relegation. But finally, Smith Rowe turns up for us again to give us hope. We go after the equaliser, and West Ham defend like lions, but eventually we're on terms. A draw could see us go down though, so we need that winning goal. But it's absolute heartbreak. West Ham score. Fortunately for me though, it was offside. Last minute we get a corner and boom! The winner and safety for the Smiths. We managed to finish 16th and 4 points clear of the drop. I have to think that 4-match unbeaten run was the point in the season that saved us. Hope you've enjoyed this slightly different FC25 video. You should watch this video on screen next.